Camera, light, action, go. Hi everyone, my name is Margarita and I'm doing this podcast mainly just to share my knowledge, a huge amount of knowledge that I gained throughout the last couple of years of searching of myself, of my mental health work, and overall my journey in order to find answers on the questions that were bothering me a lot. So how it all started? Why are we all here? Why are you listening to me? You're here because whatever everyone is telling you makes you want to question things. Because your vision of life is different, because you want more. That's the core thing. You are here because you want more from yourself, and you know that there is more into this life than what we all just experiencing. So I'm doing this because I know that me saying honestly what exactly I've been through hopefully will resonate with you. It might give you some hints or tricks, or at least it will make you feel like you're not alone. We're all going through stuff, and I find it very calming and very embracing that there is some people who've been through the same stuff. So let's roll the story backwards a couple of years ago. I would say around 3-4 years ago. Originally, I'm from Ukraine. I've been born and raised in the capital of Ukraine, Kiev, and I lived there pretty much all of my life. I've been a good girl. I've been a very good girl. I've been living all my life just doing something that other people would expect from me. I've been pretty much perfect, having a perfect social life, had a perfect job, perfect apartment, perfect car, perfect everything, just living the life for someone else, not for myself. And I always felt like I'm fooling myself. Now I know this for sure, but when I'm trying to go backwards and just understand what was the little signs that something isn't wrong, I remember that feeling that I was kind of fooling myself all the time. I haven't felt the time going, absolutely. This thing like when you woke up, it's Monday, you blink and it's Friday, and then you blink again, it's Monday again. And your whole life is like a hamster wheel kind of circles over and over again, same repetitive things. I found my comfort in this repetitive circles. I found my comfort in being able to predict my life into 5-10 years up front, and I really thought that this is how it should be. I reached pretty much all of my goals because I was very hardworking and very dedicated person. I had financial stability. I thought that I have it all. The things that I didn't have is that I didn't have myself. I had no idea who I am, what I really truly want, where is my real true happiness, where is those things that, where is my passion, where is my desire, where is my life, this concept of alive life. You're not just existing, but you're living, and you feel like you live every second, you live everything, you live through ups and downs, through everything, but you're present, you're there. Life doesn't happen with you, it happens for you, and you feel like you're a part of the whole, a part of everything. I mean, now it feels been with me forever, but I know that this is something very new and very fresh in my life. I haven't thought about it a couple of years ago. So what was the problem? The problem was basically that I didn't live at all. I felt like I was like a frozen doll. My emotions were frozen, my desires, my goals, everything was frozen, everything was not mine, and everything was fake. And when you live like this for long enough, when you betray yourself in each step of the journey, when you do something not for your best interest, but you do this for the other people, you stop hearing yourself. You stop hear your intuition, your sixth sense, your higher self, whatever you call it. You stop hear your soul. And when you do that, you appear being absolutely lost. No matter what you have, no matter how successful you are, no matter how much money you have in your bank account, you are lost. You are somewhere in the space, in a vacuum, where nothing really matters. And this feeling that nothing really matters, it feels like hell. Like living hell. There is no purpose, there is no sense, there is no meaning in doing anything, in achieving anything, in having anything. There is no meaning, but I wanted more. I knew that there was so much more because I was traveling all the time. I saw all that people, I saw them living their dream life, achieving their goals, having their best best life possible, just being who they really are. I knew for sure that this is possible. And like in a movie, like in a Hollywood movie, there is one event, there is one big thing that turns your life upside down like this. And in my case, it was war in Ukraine. It was something that me personally, I had no idea will happen. I was abroad back then. I was in Sri Lanka with my friend, and I just couldn't go back home. My flight was cancelled, and I stuck on the island in the middle of nowhere, and I lived through a horrible time of my life when my parents were in danger, who stayed back in Ukraine, when my friends were in danger, with everything that I owned, everything, like my properties, my collection of fancy bags and fancy shoes, and all of the memories that I kept in my home, my parents, of course, everything that ever mattered to me, it was there. I had zero control over if I will keep it, if it will remain mine, or I will lose it forever. And I went down into the spiral to the very bottom. To be honest, that was like a roller coaster, like emotional roller coaster. Now I understand that this is something that's supposed to happen. I mean, not the war, but the thing that this game, when I was lying to myself, it's supposed to finish sooner or later. Back then, when I faced with all of this huge emotions, like not even big emotion, but huge emotions, I never felt so much hate in my life. I was full of anger. I was wondering, like, why is it happening? It's so unfair. Like, the world is unfair. It shouldn't be like this. I remember just hating everyone and everything around me. I hated just any person around me who was happy, because how dare you being happy when something like this happens, when my life is like falling apart. Back then I had no knowledge and no instruments on how to manage this kind of state, how to balance myself, how to deal with myself. And most important, my mindset was a victim mindset. As fast as something happened, like for example, the situation that I'm describing, my first and the fastest automatic response was falling into position of a victim, which means that this happens to me, my life is getting ruined, I have nothing to do with that. I am just the victim of the circumstances, and I have no control and I have no power over what's going on. The only thing that I can do is suffer. So I went into a very deep spiral down at the bottom of the suffering, and I lived through a great suffering. Like it was 10 out of 10 kind of suffering. On some point I understood that it doesn't work anymore. I can't live like this anymore. Like there is no future living like this. I was traveling in Asia for already, I guess, around 6 months. I was jumping from country to country. I was jumping from place to place, solving little issues like what to eat, where to live, with whom to talk, because I didn't want it to face a big issue that life that I had before doesn't exist anymore and I can't come back to it. And honestly, I don't really want to. So I found myself in the position that I don't want to live the life I used to live, but I have no idea how to live differently. I have no idea how to find my new home, how to find my peace, how to find myself, who I am, how to be myself. I had no idea what's my values, what's my passions, what's my hobbies, what's my desires, what's my dreams, what's my goal. I had no idea about all of that, and I had zero control over my life. When I understood that it's not working, luckily up on that point I already came to Bali in Indonesia, and this land is magical. I truly believe so, not only because of some magnetic fields or special geographical location or whatever. This place is special because it's one of the similar like spots in the world where people of different cultures, of different backgrounds, of different beliefs and different mindsets are meeting each other in one space, which is here specifically is very religious, it's very sacred, and in this space they are able to teach each other and they're able to learn from each other, which is the most important. So I asked the universe, I asked the world, I asked whoever, because on that point I was desperate. I was pretty much desperate. I asked whoever, please give me the answers. I just can't do this. I can't live like this anymore. Up on that point, I already lost my job, like corporate job. That was the last thing that held me together, because that was my source of income. And not only that, was the last connection that kept me connected to my previous life as it used to be. Up on that point, I detached myself from all of the things that I owned that left in Ukraine. I detached myself even from my friends and my parents, because it was absolutely painful not being able to be around them and not being able to help them. My desire to save people, topic for another podcast, I guess. Me being a saver for everyone else for years, for pretty much all my life. I requested help and I received help. I received an amazing, beautiful people who I met on my journey. I felt like life is literally bringing me people who's telling me what I need to hear, who's giving me another perspective on how I can see the world, who's given me another options of what kind of mindset I can have, what kind of vision on life I can have. And I am absolutely, deeply, deeply grateful to all of them. There were people who explained me how to choose happiness, how not to suffer, what's the other option, what are the options if it's not suffering, if you're not choosing suffering. There were the person who explained me how to be feminine, how to be gentle and kind and easygoing, how to go with the flow. I literally was able to create a manual, step by step, how to go with the flow, because me, myself, I'm very organized. So whatever knowledge I received, I needed to put it on the right shelf in my mind, organize it in my knowledge structure. That's why I'm able now to coach other people, to share my knowledge, because everything I have in a very structured and organized manner. So I start to receive all this knowledge, I start to receive all this guidance. And one of my friends specifically, she became my first mentor, and she turned my world upside down, because she opened my eyes and she showed me what exactly is happening with my life. There was lots of different things, but the major ones is that I was not on my role. I was a mother for my mother. I was absolutely in a victim mode. I was lost, and I didn't really want to find myself back then, because finding myself would mean that I will have to take responsibility for myself, and that was something that I wasn't ready to do. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay, because now I am. It was a journey that I had to go through, and the major thing is that I did that, and that's why I'm sitting now here in front of this camera and telling my story. So overall, my journey took around about 2 years, I guess, like of active search, active learning. Throughout those 2 years, I was taught by the universe and by people who were coming into my life and events that were happening in my life. But together with that, on some point, I made a decision to go and study by myself. So I took a coaching course. I did it just because I wanted to learn tools on how to manage myself even better, because I already saw the difference, how the quality of my life changed dramatically when I started to implement all of the knowledge that I received. I already saw how life can be, how easy, how joyful, how meaningful life can be when you really know how to see it, how to pursue it, how to take the best out of it, and what you really want to take out of it. When you really know, the quality of life is absolutely different. It's not like it doesn't happen to you. You're not just existing. You're not in survival mode anymore. You're not in victim mode anymore. You can let go all this and you can become yourself. It's like you're stepping into your own consciousness. You're stepping into your own body, and you're in control by the default, because control was always in your hands. You just had no idea how to use it. That's how it works. So I started the coaching course. I went through this course. After a couple of months on this course, another mentor, she said that I have potential to become a life coach. I also started to receive this feedback from other people. And then I was okay. I was thinking, why not? Let's try. I was looking for my purpose. I was looking for a thing to do, something that I would really love to do. So I said, okay, let's try. And that's how my life coaching journey started. That's when I understood that I'm doing something that I'm supposed to do. Because for me, it works in a way that I'm collecting all this knowledge and all these tools and all these hacks and tricks and shortcuts for a reason. And for me to get even more, I have to give it first. And me helping other people is a part of the necessary flow to receive new knowledge, to receive some new insights, to share it with the world, because I feel absolutely charged. I feel absolutely great when I do that. So I started this course, and I started another course, another course, another course, another book, another study, another topic, another direction. Overall, it's been like over a year now of active learning, like 6 hours per day, every day kind of learning. The main things that happened was that on some point I understood that I know, I see, and I feel everything. I know who I am. I see where I need to go, and I feel my true, real feelings. And now when I think about it, actually makes me want to cry a little bit, because this is a different level of life. This is a different quality of life. I wish that my parents would experience this at least once. I really wish that I would experience this at least once. Just like unlocking this whole different level in the game of life. You can still do what you do right now. You can build your business, you can have your family, you can have your hobbies and travel and whatever, but on another level. You can feel things on another level. You can experience life on another level. You can train the muscle of consciousness, where you will see the meaning in everything that happens around you. You will be able to connect the dots backwards and see the reason why everything in your life happened exactly how it happened. And it gives you a level of freedom. That kind of freedom that some people, when they come to me and I ask, why do you want your business, your money, your success? What's the reason? What's the purpose? And they say, I want to be free. For each person, freedom means different things. But me personally, freedom is exactly this. I feel free when I'm able to live my best life by knowing what is the best decisions for me and being able to choose myself by choosing those things. This is exactly the reason why I'm on this journey. This is exactly the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I believe that this is amazing. I know that it works for me. I know for sure that it works for many people who I coach. It also works for many people who I just meet in my life. I know that for someone it will become a solution. For someone it will become a thing that they've been waiting for a long time. And this is exactly what I'm going to share here in this podcast. And this is exactly what I will keep doing, because it's very, very close to my main purpose. I am very grateful for you listening to this podcast today. I hope it was useful. I hope it gave you a better understanding on who I am. I know that you are here for a reason, and I know that everything happens for a reason. So welcome, and let's continue this journey together. Maybe that's how I should call my podcast. Like, you are here for a reason. The reason. Reason.